It's TGD back again, coming to you live from the Sunburn Recovery Ward. So, it may come as a giant shocker to you that I've been thinking about girls lately. As you get older, your standards, I suppose, they develop a bit more. It goes beyond things like, is a girl, once you actually meet girls and realize what they're all about. You kind of just assume they're just like you. And they're not. They're completely different. So things that I look for when I'm looking at girls and stuff, first off is looks. Now I know that makes me shallow. Oh, so you're shallow basically is what you're saying, TGD? Yeah, whatever. I know for myself, I would not want to go out with someone who was not attracted to me. I've mentioned this before. I wouldn't want to go out with someone who didn't think I was attractive. That wouldn't make me feel very good at all. And so that would be cruel to go out with a girl that I wasn't attracted to. That would be terrible. She dresses up and dolls herself up. She goes, "How do I look?" I go, "Well, you have a great personality." That would be really nasty. I do want to find whoever I'm with physically attractive. And another thing about looks, I might make a separate video about this. It deserves its own video. But there are things you could tell about a person by their appearance. That deserves its own video, though. So beyond just a simple initial snap judgment of am I attracted to them, there's things like their character that you can only get to know once you're around them. So I want to know, are they honest? And how do they treat people? How do they treat retail workers? What do they do with their free time? Do they value their own time? Do they value the time of others? I want to know what her core values are. Is she loyal? Is she dependable? Is she faithful? Does she stick to her word when she says something? She says she's going to do something, she does it? Is she strong in her convictions? Can she sift through lies? Is she gullible? And then, next, there's things like interests. So does she have any useful hobbies? Whatever about getting autistic about gender roles. Can she fix a leaky faucet? Can she grow vegetables? Can she sew? Does she play an instrument? Can she raise chickens? Or is her only hobby scrolling on TikTok and binge watching Netflix? Now, all that being said, I was thinking about this. I realized that I would be a pretty cool girl. So, I know I have the useless video game hobby, which might actually be a plus for a girl. If a girl likes playing video games, for some guys, it's something you can do together. But yeah, video gaming is a useless hobby. But I play guitar, I write books, make videos, I'm interested in things like philosophy, I have a knife collection, and a sick firearm collection. This isn't real, of course. Or is it? I'm interested in the outdoors and survival. I know there are some girls that are like that, but there's not very many. I was out mowing lawns and I saw this wild garlic mustard that I made a full video on my channel. You can go find it. About the wild edible garlic mustard. But the first time I found it, I was out mowing lawns and I made this video.
Now this right here is wild garlic mustard, an invasive species here in the United States. This is entirely edible.
And I sent that to my friends and I said, if a girl sent me a video of her identifying and eating wild edibles, I would be so turned on. Speaking of, I can cook and I'm reasonably intelligent. I'm a fast learner. Hobby-wise, I'm not really into sports or anything, so I guess I'm not technically a tomboy, but I wouldn't have, girly hobbies and stuff, so I guess I'd be a tomboy. Now, working backwards, we talked about interests. Let's go backwards and go to values. Faithfulness is my biggest core value, I would say. It upsets me thinking about someone out there skipping or ditching someone who needs them, just bouncing. Someone needs them in their life and they just bounce. That's a big theme in the book I'm writing right now, is the faithfulness of friends and having steadfast friends. If you need me, I'll be there for you. I'll cancel whatever I'm doing and to come and help you. Even for people that hate me, people that are my enemy, I've helped before. I'll be right there to help you if you need me. And I take my word pretty seriously. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. That's why I consider personal fitness a virtue on a related note, because you should work hard so that you have extra to share with others. You have extra resources and money to share with others. If you're growing a garden, people with gardens give tons of food away. They have extra to share with others. The same thing goes for your physical strength. You should be physically strong to share your strength with those that don't have strength. And I don't have a six-pack or anything, but I do regularly exercise. In general, I try to treat people with a basic kindness and decency. Back in the day, we called that being polite, and now we call it respect for some reason. I try to be really nice to wait staff and cashiers, since I personally know how rare that is for someone to be nice and treat you like a human being. For people that I like and that I'm close to, I could be playfully mean, but I try to not be genuinely mean, especially to people I like. I'm a good listener. If you come to me with a problem, I don't want to start making it all about myself and be self-obsessed and tell you that you're an idiot for being upset. Well, don't you know what I went through? You shouldn't be upset because it's not half as bad as what I've gone through. I want to be understanding and not just start offering solutions. Well, why don't you do this? Well, why didn't you just... I just want to be there to comfort you while you're hurting. And as far as looks go, I mean, in this Face app, I suppose I'm not like a 10 out of 10, or maybe even an 8, but I'm kind of cute. You know, green eyes are kind of unique. Would I still be 5'10" if I was a girl? I don't know how much of this to say that I would still keep and be the same. I still keep, even in this filter that really softens my features, I still have very powerful androgenic features. Cheekbones, powerful wide jaw, robust nose. And if I would still be 5'10", 5'11", I feel like everyone likes tall girls, they just don't talk about it. Tall girls have like this elegance about them. And yeah, I'm not a 10 out of 10, but you don't want a 10 out of 10 girl. You don't want high maintenance 10 out of 10 girl. You want a nice low maintenance 6 out of 10 tomboy GF. And something else that no one really talks about when it comes to girls is their status. The idea that if I marry a girl, that I'm gonna have to take on $80,000 to $100,000 in student loan debt is honestly kind of terrifying. It's not something that I'm really excited about. That seems to be most girls that I meet, is that they have loads and loads of debt. I have no debt. No debt at all. I actually have a positive net worth. Because to figure out your net worth, take everything you own, what's in your bank, and then subtract your debt, and that's your net worth. I have a positive net worth. And to keep that, I'm fairly cheap and frugal. I try to not spend loads of money on stupid stuff. I try to make wise investments. I buy nearly all my clothes from the thrift store. I own my own car. I don't have car payments. I don't have thousands or even hundreds of dollars in credit card debt. No debt at all. No student loan debt, no debt. And some women think that men have the same status requirements as they do. And that's how, like, egalitarianism and feminism really ruins the dynamic between men and women. Because we start thinking, well, because we're equal, that means we're exactly the same. Because that's what equality means. Equal means the same. 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 and 4 are the same. But we're different, and we just assume that we're all the same. So a few months back, maybe it was a year ago, Tommy Lahren went on a rant about how no man wanted to date her friends, even though they're rich and successful and ambitious. And she went on about this rant about how you're just a man-child if you can't step up and make as much money as her and then date her. Yeah, she was going on about how she's so successful and ambitious and has a great career. All things that men literally couldn't care less about. Men don't care about any of that stuff. So the fact that I, don't have a career, so to speak, would make me a pretty... Like that wouldn't impede my attractiveness as a woman really at all. I am fairly hardworking and I do make money, but I don't have a great career, and that's not a factor if you're a woman, really. And that's the thing too, the things that would make me a rad girl don't necessarily translate to being an attractive man. I can play guitar, so what? Every stoner can play guitar. I've never gotten paid for a gig that I've done. I've done lots of gigs, never got paid for any of them. I write books. I've completed 3 books that I've made $0 on. I'm about to complete a 4th book. And I'm probably going to make $0 on that one too. I don't have any debt accrued as a man, but I drive a Buick instead of a Mustang, so not really a lot of high status symbols or anything. Being trustworthy and faithful means basically nothing if you're a man. It's not really done anything for me, except getting me taken advantage of, which, I'm fine with, whatever. That I'm not going to betray my principles because it's inconvenient for me. The fact that I live with my parents, even though they benefit from me living here, I'm saving money by having a year-round job, plus seasonal side hustles, plus loads of volunteer work that I do for free. That doesn't really mean anything. The fact that I live in mommy's basement makes me a morally inferior option, a man-child, because I take care of my parents. But a guy literally couldn't care less if a girl lived with her parents. It's a non-factor. If I was talking to a girl and I found out she lived with her parents... Anyway. Oh no! Anyway. But if you're a guy, that's a huge obstacle. I'll talk to family members and they'll say, why haven't you gotten a girlfriend yet? Why aren't you getting a girlfriend and getting married and stuff? I said, well, I don't think girls really like guys that live with their parents. And they'll go, yeah, you're right, they don't. So if you're a girl and you're working a part-time job and volunteering your time and doing per diem side hustles while you're pursuing your writing career, that's just a normal girl thing to do. Don't all girls do that? If you're a guy doing that, then you're a man-child and you need to just go work a soulless job at the power company because I'm worried about our future. And I'm kind of acting bitter, but the thing is, if I was a girl, I wouldn't date a guy like me. So, if I'm a girl, I'm looking for a level of not necessarily status, but at least a level of stability. So, if we're getting married and I'm going to get pregnant and be incapacitated for a number of months, I need someone to take care of me. If I'm incapacitated, I can't work, I need someone to take care of things for me while I'm recovering. And that's what I would be looking for, things like that in a guy that would be able to take care of me. Not that I'm just looking for an ATM. Well, that's all you want, an ATM. I hate when people do that. If a guy wants a girl to cuddle up with, you just want a living sex doll and a slave. You just want a mom that's gonna emotionally coddle you. Because I want a companion that's going to empathize with me and treat me like a human being. You just want a mom. And if a girl wants financial security while she's literally incapacitated, you just want an ATM. And some girls do just want an ATM, and I'm sure some guys do just want a living sex doll, but that's used way too much and way too liberally. But yeah, I would want us to have our own place to live. So as a man, I don't own a house. If I was a girl, I wouldn't want to date a guy living with his parents. I would want a guy who had his stuff together. Girls wouldn't like that I dropped out of college to pursue my writing career, especially since I've not gotten any of my books published. And I've not met very many girls that would enjoy palling around, doing all of the stuff I like doing. Like, a girl wouldn't hike 8 miles through swamps and mountains with me. She wouldn't want to talk about the characters in my book and help me with a feminine perspective on the interpersonal dynamics between them, and likewise I would bring masculine perspective to whatever she makes or writes or draws or whatever she likes doing. So while I think that I would be a great companion for a lot of girls and would add a lot to their lives, that's not really what women are looking for. It is what guys are looking for, though, especially a guy like me. I don't know if girls have any physical needs. I didn't really talk about this much, but I don't know if girls have physical needs. They kind of act like they don't, but I don't know since I'm not a girl. But as a guy, yeah, you can't really fulfill your physical needs with the fellas. Like, I'm not even talking sexually, even though that's a thing too. Just like needing to cuddle with someone, cuddling up with the fellas isn't really a thing that you do. And I don't even have a lot of friends that are girls, simply because, like, my interests don't overlap with the interests of women, usually. But even if I did, it really wouldn't be appropriate to just have a friend that's a girl and start cuddling with her. But that's, like, something that I long for and don't get. That physical element. And if I was a girl with a guy that I liked, I would be totally, like, touchy and cuddly. You can't really be a touchy and cuddly guy. That's not really a thing you can do if you're a guy. There have been girls that liked me that I barely knew that would do stuff like come up and sit on my lap and hold my head, put their hand on my leg while I was driving. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to do something like that as a guy. For obvious reasons. Yeah, and back then when that stuff was going on, I really didn't have the emotional maturity to really process someone liking me. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how to handle it. But yeah, if I was a girl, I imagine a lot of shoulder shoves. Maybe I'd be a tsundere. But then again, I really wouldn't be liberal with affection with guys if I was a girl. Especially guys I wasn't, like, explicitly interested in. But for different reasons than being a guy. I don't want to give any guys any mixed signals or make him think I have a crush on him just to reject him and break his heart. I might act cold and distant and not talk to any guys so they don't fall in love with me, so I don't have to reject them. 'Cause I would not like doing that. I would hate to have to reject someone. But then again, like, it's kind of a cozy idea. Like, I kind of like the idea that if I was a girl, that a guy would want to take me out for coffee or something, and I would go out with him, like, for a walk in the park, and we would just talk, and I'd help him build confidence talking to girls. But then again, I wouldn't want to have to cruelly reject him once he fell in love with me. And trust me, all men are simps. They would fall in love with me. And I'm taking a lot for granted here too, because I'm assuming that my mentality would be the same if I was a girl, which it probably wouldn't be. But for this thought experiment, we're saying that I would be keeping the same mentality that I have now. Anyway, all that to say, I'm your dream girl, and I would treat you really good.